Welcome back, guys. And if this is your first time here, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. This is my 1996 diesel Suburban. I've had it for about 3 months so far, and everything so far has been pretty good. Some minor issues here and there, but nothing that we can't really take care of. So, for any of you unaware, from the year, I believe, 1992 to 2002, Chevy decided to produce the 6.5, or not Chevy per se, but Detroit Diesel decided to manufacture a 6.5 liter turbo diesel for GM. And a small percentage of them happened to go into some 3/4 ton Suburbans rather than the 454 big block. And I so happened to find this, and I was very fortunate because I needed something that was decent enough for towing, because while the output in horsepower is only roughly about 200, these things have monstrous torque, anywhere from about 450 to 500 foot-pounds to be exact. And that's kind of what I needed. I need something that's going to be decent enough to pull anywhere between probably 8,000 to 10,000 pounds while still riding pretty smoothly. And with this having 3/4 ton suspension on the rear and obviously on the front as well, it definitely will be a huge benefit. One thing that caught my eye as soon as we went to look at this SUV was how crisp the doors open and close. Really no squeaking on the hinges. No rust on any of the rockers at all. There's some dirt. This was a farm use truck, and the guy had only towed with it from what I heard 3 or 4 times. So no rust in the door seals either. No rust on the rockers at all. Even the cab corners are in very decent shape as well. Same with this back door too. Just a crisp open and a crisp close. And typically these doors shut pretty loud, as is the case with a lot of GM cars. But while these are loud, they have that nice crisp, very hard sounding shut to them. Hinges are still in very good shape. And as I said before, the cab corners are absolutely perfect. Just some dust here and there. I still got to clean it out. Just haven't gotten around to doing that yet. But inside the rear seats as well, stock leather interior on the front as well. Driver's seat's beaten up a little bit as far as the armrest goes, and just some rip stitching there, but nothing that I can't take care of. So these also have the barn doors as well, which I love. This has a little squeak, you'll hear it. Little squeak on this hinge here. Might need to be greased a little bit because there's not a lot of grease in there. Same goes for this one. Oh, no, I was wrong. I almost forgot that. But I am going to grease these because hopefully that'll get rid of it. Another thing that I love that GM did, as opposed to Ford did with the Excursion. Now, I'm not too sure if Ford actually did this or not, but I love how GM decided to put the stock tire, or the spare tire, I'm trying to say, in the inside as opposed to hanging it from underneath. Keeps it better, keeps it in better shape. Doesn't wear as quickly either, so then you don't get rust falling all on it and it starts to corrode or anything like that. But that's just one of the little details that I really like about this truck too. And I think the half tons might have had them on it too, is the rims. I absolutely love the look of these rims on the front. I believe they had 2 different styles that came out for the 7th gens, which this is a 7th gen Suburban. I'm gonna need new tires eventually, but that is to be expected, especially when I'm gonna be towing as much as I am. So, but yeah, these rims, I absolutely love it. I'll show you the other side too, if you hadn't seen it before, but the other side is in pretty decent shape too. No real surface rust at all on that chrome. A little bit of pitting here and there, but as soon as I polish them up, they should get a better, more crisp look to them. Showing you guys the interior a little bit here. Has the standard leather wearing that most of the Suburbans have for that year, especially with the armrest. I'm sure you guys who go on Marketplace, you might have seen that here and there. They have the blown out rests here, so that'll be something that I definitely attend to. I want to make sure I'm comfy while I'm driving for I don't even know how many hours or towing. So I'm going to pull this out this summer definitely, and I'm going to be pulling all the seats out regardless of that. I'm going to pull out the back seats as well so we can get the carpet nice and cleaned, looking real healthy, as well as the seats, and we'll see what we can do for this too. So we'll definitely have more content coming on that as well. So before I bought the Suburban, I basically was curious more so about the history of the 6.5 diesel and the reliability of them, and they seem to be relatively reliable. But I was more so curious just about the history, and I had obviously looked up the power output and everything. And when I had seen it was turbocharged, I'm like, wow, well, they have to put out a decent amount of torque, right? And sure enough, as I had said before, they range anywhere from 450 to 500 foot-pounds of torque, which is pretty good for a Suburban. Not as much power-wise, but that's not really what you're looking for in a vehicle like this. You're looking for torque, you're looking for a decent vehicle to tow with, a big family rig, right? So I had learned that this wasn't the first diesel that GM used in their trucks in the early 90s, late 80s, or maybe even before that. I don't know when the first year was, but they actually used a 6.2 liter. And that was a GM diesel, I believe. This is a Detroit diesel, so this is a little bit different. But they had Detroit make these for them because they needed something to rival the Excursion and the other diesels that Ford and that Dodge had at the time. So they ended up going with a 395 cubic inch, I believe, 6.5 liter turbocharged diesel, which is what we see in front of us today. So really interesting to me. What do you guys say? Should we give her a little start? Also, I'd like to point out up here that while there is some dust and crud up here, these aren't rusted or pitted real bad, which a lot of GM hoods do get. And the spring as well, still in very good shape. The hood latch as well, very good shape. But enough of that. Let's start her up. Forgot to show you guys over here as well. Let's give her a little start. She should still be warm from when I drove her down here. Let's go for a little drive up here. Don't have the best turning radius on these, but what can you expect when you're driving something this big, right? Windshield is absolutely filthy. Needs some new wipers. Needs a little bit of love here and there. But what can I say? For $6,000, not too bad, right? No lights. Run on half a tank. And the mile per gallon for these was averaged out to be on the lower side, anywhere from 16 to 17, up to 22 miles per gallon on the highway, which is pretty good. More of a fuel efficient option rather than the gas guzzlers, right? Towing with these, the mile per gallon range was estimated to be anywhere between 13 and 16 miles per gallon, which is pretty good. Like I said, great alternative to the gas guzzlers that you had an option to as well. Much higher torque output too. You will get a little bit more horsepower with the gas engines, but like I said, you're not looking for power with these vehicles. You're looking for torque, right? As I had said before, guys, I will be covering some repairs on this for sure, because before I start towing with it, there's some things that definitely need to be addressed, and you guys will definitely see those videos coming up, but you'll just have to stay tuned for them. Well, I really appreciate you guys stopping by. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video to show some support. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Any tips or any tricks for these trucks, or any concerns I should look into, make sure you let me know. And I appreciate you guys stopping by. Thanks for watching.